Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Okay, pilots. I'm going to kind of do a mock build of it. I'm not really going to leave it all together because, like I said, I'm going to put LED lights in it. I was just wanting to show you how simple this thing is to build. Okay. We want to get our carbon rod here. Nope, you don't fall off. Well, like I said, another video a while ago, or before, I like to massage my edges there a little bit. That'll help guide that right in there. Carbon rod started. I got my hand on this plastic part right here, pushing on it, and just kind of wiggling the tail back and forth till it goes in there. There it is. My carbon rod's all the way in. Take the other one. Now this one right here has got the horn on it. And right here's your servo. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put that servo rod on. Now it did come with a pack, the hub. It did have everything with it. Get everything out. Now there's our connecting rod for, let's see, is it rudder or elevator? Alright, there's our 2 screws. They individually bagged. Here's your 4 screws for a wing. What kind of head's on that? Uh-oh, that's an outlet head. Uh-oh. Okay, I want that rod. I got to go get my glasses. And it does have a little plastic piece of tubing on it too, there, pilots. Look there. Alright. Let's see. Let's go ahead and go in from that way. Now let me look. Yeah. Check and see. Sometimes the manufacturers want you to put it in a different hole than the very last hole. Okay, here it is. Yep, I got to go get my glasses. Lord help me. Just putting it in the last hole on both the servo and the horn. here in the middle picture here, it's showing you what hole put the horn in. Put the control rod in. So we going with that last hole. Let's see if it'll go in there. Sometimes you gotta kind of work it a little bit. Nope, look at that. No worries, mate. So I'll get my rod on there. Massage my edges. Now I did notice that it had some gatoring real bad on that control surface and that tail surface, but man, that's unusual for a 11 hobby. But maybe that's, you know, sometimes someone bought the plane, because when I took the label off of the box itself, the outside box, it had another address up underneath it to where I was the third party that's owned this plane. So that always gets you worried there, pilots, when you see something like that. But hey, you seen just as much damage to it as I did. I didn't find nothing else. But maybe somebody that you know, didn't want a plane that had a little gatoring to it, or didn't have that little dipple in the wing, and they returned it. Well, you know, I do. All right, let's get our two little black screws here. Two little black screws there. Flush heads, or countersunk, whatever you want to call it. And these look like they are Phillips heads. Yes. All right. Now, here's a good little area for those real long screwdrivers you might get with a model or two. See, look here, you ain't nowhere near your tail. Can't damage it. I think this thing's magnetized. Yep, well, a little bit. But I see that the holes lined up there perfectly. And that screw goes right in. And I'm gonna leave this together back here because, you know, there ain't no lights back here. But I'm gonna show you the wing assembly. And I'm gonna wire it up right quick with an Admiral 600 gyro receiver, but I'm not gonna worry about programming it or nothing like that. I'm just gonna plug it up, get the landing gear down. Okay, now we're ready for the main wing. Now sometimes pilots, you know, you go parts that come in these little zip top bags. Now if you'll save in little zip top that bag and keep your spare screws and clips and stuff in, it's kind of a little more organized. I've got to find my Allen head that fits that. I got a little orange piece of tape on this one certain Allen head that usually works pretty good on them. Let's see here. I believe that's the winner. So I'm not gonna hook no rods up yet till I get the servos centered. So not worried about that right now. And I'm definitely not putting the prop on right now. I'll show you how to assemble it and put it on, but I'm not gonna leave it on. Now, we've got our wires, our leads, servo leads. I've got them all taped up right here in the center of the wing. I think it's already got the wire harnesses on it too. I've seen where you sometimes have to put your wire harnesses on them. Goodness gracious, I can tell that's been on there a while. You can tell when that glue on the back of that masking tape feels oily. It's been there a while. I'm gonna let go of my label. Yes, I believe it does have all the wire harnesses on it and everything. Okay, ailerons. Channel 1, aileron. Yep. So there's my ailerons, and that should be my flaps. Channel 6 flaps. There you go. Now where's my landing gear? There's the gear. Okay. Got a big hole there. Let me pull that canopy off. Goodness gracious, that glue's on that wing. Okay, we're looking good. We got brass inserts in the mounts. I mean, my goodness Lord. Yeah, I put in my description there, pilots, a little story I didn't get to tell you, but I'm not going to bore you with it. But I did tell you how much I paid for this model. And heck, I paid just a little bit, I mean just $6 more than I did for an Arrows. And this being a vintage model, you know what I'm saying? Alright, let's see here. I want to tug on these wires just a little bit. Make sure they all through. Of course, I'm going to be taking it back apart. You know, I run the lights and everything. Like models that I've already bought before I put the LEDs on things. I had to put the LEDs in after they was built, but you know, the easiest way and most fun way to do it is before you even get it built. You just go ahead and you get your lights run and got your leads down, ready to go. A lot, well, not simpler, but just, you know, more organized, I reckon you could say. Now, I see a brass insert in that one. I see one in that one. That one's lining up. You're looking pretty good there. That one fell right here. That one fell right here. Well, that didn't fall right in, but it went in. That's going to be the first one we're going to check. Yeah, those two there seem like they're a little... Oh, that went right in. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. All right, just a couple little turns, get them started. Sometimes they not lined up, pilots. I've come across high dollar planes that I've paid over $300 for. Sometimes even some is over $500 for. And a screw won't line up. Save your life. So what I do, I take a small awl, okay? The one that I'm having trouble lining up, that's the one I want to put in first, but I don't want to stick this in that hole, okay? I want to stick this into the hole next to it, or up here maybe, where I can move the planer wing around and try to get it to drop down in there. Now, if that method don't work, then you might have to stick the awl down in the hole that's not lining up. Line it up, get the other one started, and then keep trying to get this one lined up. You might have to do it 2 or 3 times, but you'll get it. But pilots, I mean, you know, sometimes the manufacturers, you know, they building these things like 300 of them in one day. You know what I mean? Or, you know, well, not one day I wouldn't say, but let's say they building 300 of these things in a week. You know, they're not really too concerned about worrying about that little mount in there being glued in the exact place that it needs to be glued. So you might have some trouble. Now, like I said, I'm going to take this right back apart, so I'm just showing you. I don't want to get her torqued down too much when I got to take it right back out. But them dadgum Allen heads, my goodness. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to take that back at you. There it comes. Okay. Alright, we got that on. My Allen head's got a little round head on the end of the long shaft. I might have to find me another and get that one back out. We're going to flip this over. Get my Admiral. 6 channel. Let's see, that's a 600 says 6-channel stabilizer plus. Oh no, I don't see the number there anyway. But that's what it is, that little 600 deal. Make sure I don't cut that antenna. Okay, and I've got a line plug. I'll put this one on. No, I'm 8, 6. I believe I got. Alright, there's my other 11 hobbies, yep. New model. Okay. Airplane. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Aircraft type. Now we got to go down here to where it says wing. We'll put that on one aileron, one flap. Go to the next one is your rudder, but it's a normal. Next page. Yep. Alright. So that's all I'm gonna do right now. Make sure here. Yeah. Okay. Now we gotta turn that back off. Alright, let's check this out. Let's see here. Let's just go ahead and put that in there. We got to do a little switching on here. I got to find my bind plug here. Goodness gracious. My writing on these things is so small. Oh, that's got to be it, yep. You look on the back of the receiver, and it'll tell you which of those switches to switch for normal, delta, or V-tail. And it's even got flaperons here where you switch it on. But let's see here, what side's it on. Dadgum, the light's dying on me. Come on, focus on it there. It's small writing, so you're gonna have to probably get a magnifying glass out to see it, because I know I am. I got to make sure that's right. Normal is J4, J5 on, J6 off. Okay, J6 is that top notch. I can't tell which way is on and off. It's got them all switched to one side there. Okay, there's the word on that side. Okay. So we gotta take those two there, J4 and J5, and swap them over. So I'm taking my little owl. Second switch I'm flopping over, third switch I'm flopping over from the top. Or switching over, flopping over. Come on, man. Alright. Now the Admiral, channel 1 is your throttle. And they've got channel 3 labeled, but that's your throttle. Polarity, the yellow lead or the white lead will go towards the top of the receiver here, or the facing of the receiver. Okay. They mark channel 1 on the label of the lead, but you put it in channel 2. And then we're going, elevator will be back here somewhere. Yes. Channel 2 is on the lead label, but you're putting it in channel 3. Oh, come on now. And then we'll go with rudder, which will be on a wind harness with your front landing gear. Being a tricycle landing gear, it's going to be your front landing gear. So we need a rudder. And then channel 5 is our gear. And we've got to put the wind harness that comes from the gear on the wing will come up and actually be a tri-harness. I have 3 of them. So we've got to take this lead here that comes from the front of the airplane, checking our polarity, plug that in, and then that's going to go in channel 5. And then we have our flaps. This plane has flaps. That'll be channel 6. Now you can go into this Admiral and choose. Uh-oh, I didn't check my polarity. Or you didn't hear me say it and I didn't do it. Now look there. You can assign a channel, a switch. Not channel, the switch, just to turn your gyros on and off, stuff like that. But right now, I'm not going to worry about that. And when I bind this, it's going to automatically have the gyro on the Admirals. They'll automatically come on. You've got to go in and program it by putting another bind plug into the receiver in a different direction. You got to take the last 3 leads out and have it in a different direction. And then you can go in and push the little button there on the side and go in and program it to where it's blinking with red and green back and forth 3 times there, or for a certain amount of time, because that's what I've been waiting on somebody to do, is actually make a video. Oh goodness, I ain't got a 3 cell, it's got a J 3JC 3 plug on it. We'll have to get into my transmitter case here. Give me just a second. What we got here? I've got two 3 cells here that need to be discharged a little bit, so 3 cell. All right, Roy. What we got there to 60. Roy says his 11 Hobby Trojan gets a good CG with a 3 cell 2200. Well, nope, that ain't it. Uh-oh, I might not have that one. I don't have that one. Okay. Give me another second here, Pops. I'm coming up with another plan. I want you to look here now what I'm having to do. All right. Got the 60. Going into an adapter to go into a Dean's. And I can't even do that. Look at her, I ain't got a Dean. Look at her. I'm out of luck. I'm out of luck. Let's see if that, nope, that ain't gonna work neither. I am out of luck. Can't use that one. Dadgum, I don't want to use no dadgum for sale. Let's see here. Nope, that ain't gonna work. I'm gonna have to. Man. Let's see, let me check this battery real quick. If it's too low, I can't use it. It's at 80, that'll work. Okay. Now, we got our bind plug in, we got everything plugged up. Landing gear's clear. Nope. You kind of want your landing gear to be clear on that first crank up, pilots. Let's see here. Let's do this. Yeah, that first crank up, you don't know if your landing gear is set right or anything. Let me make sure it throttles down. Landing gear says it's down. See, I got my switch on down. So I'm gonna put that up. Alright. Leave the battery down right here. I got the lights blinking like crazy. Just kind of walk away a little bit with these spectrums. Pushing my bind button, turning it on. Nope. It ain't working. That didn't work. Try it again. Right there, a second. Okay, on Admirals, you noticed how the flaps went down. On Admiral gyro, you got to go in and reverse your flaps. I forgot about this. I couldn't remember if it was the Spectrum or if it was this one. See, because I can hit the flap switch, but it don't do anything because I've got to go in and reverse the flaps and then go into throws and go through the beeping, you know, to like put a negative 100% and a negative 40% and a negative 80%, you know what I'm saying? And it gets the flap to come back up. Okay. Now, make sure that this is centered and going right. Let's see here. Okay, that would be pulling up, so that would be raising it. Yep. So at least the servo don't need to be reversed. See about my rudder. Yep, rudder's right. Look at that. I wonder if I had that prop on there, pilots. Yep. See, I ain't got no expo or anything set up, but I've got my servos centered, and now we're gonna go with our landing gear. Let me bring the camera around here so y'all can check this out. Let's see what we got here. You ain't gonna believe this pilot. You just ain't gonna believe. If you hadn't seen a Trojan before, with the landing gear coming up and down, you just ain't gonna believe it. Let's see, it might take one time to see it. Let's see if it worked. Uh-oh. 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 Maybe that might be a reason why. Oh, I know it might be. I hadn't went in and what's the term? Well, anyway, put certain things on certain switches. So my landing gear is not gonna be on that normal switch that I usually have it on. Okay. Well, it ain't on that one either. Well, what's up with this? Got something going on over here. I hear noises. Let me make sure it ain't on one of these. No, it ain't on that one. There we go. Okay, dadgummit. I got it on that. Got it on the big switch back here, back on in the back of the thing. Come on, people! But man, isn't that cool as hell? It folds them doors up, nice and tight. And when I was talking about the spring, see the spring here that holds this door to it? See? And look at the landing gear already painted silver. Oh, okay, I hit that throttle. See how I am? I gotta put a throttle cut on it too. Alright. Yeah, that's just unreal. And look how tight them doors is up there, boys. There ain't no gap in between them. No, look at that shit. Alright, I'm gonna leave my landing gear down. And go ahead and do that. Now, let's take this bind plug out. And listen at that gyro pipe. Let's see if the directions are going right. Now, that's not total air autopilot there. That's just assist, so that's good. And that one's going the right direction. It just makes it. Oh, I can't do my rudder or my. Well, yeah, I can do a rudder. The gains might be so low I can't tell. Anyway, there she is. Let's get her on the ground. I don't trust this thing sitting up there like that. Yeah, those tricycle landing gears kind of tough on you when you ain't got the right stand for it. But I mean, you know, it ain't too shabby. Look, I got my battery way back here in the back. Let me put it up here a little bit to get that front end to stay down. Let's listen to that gyro again. Okay, pops. I'm gonna unplug this thing and I'm gonna show you how to put the prop on it. But I ain't leaving it plugged up, I do that much. I'm gonna do this. Come on. Sometimes you've got to shave a little bit off of your canopy here to get a battery to fit right. Yep, see there? So that battery, of course, it's a 4-cell, it's not a 3-cell. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and kill the power. I'm gonna put my canopy back on. My antenna wants to screw with me there, stay down. Okay, now it should want to pop. Yep, see there? Okay. Alright. Prop. It's simple. I mean, you've seen a prop assembly before. Now this one doesn't have a nut and a spinner that goes on it. It just has a hub, and then you put the nut, the ball nut on front of it. So you've got two pieces here. You got one end that's got a hex made into the base. See that? So that's going to slide into your shaft here. So you put that one, paint's on the front, clear or no paint on the back. You put that one on the back here. Now sometimes it'll have to go a special way. You might take it back off, move it over one link, but this one looks like, yeah, that looks like it fit there good. Now you've got to push this thing on here pretty good, so you got to also make sure that it's fitting right, because sometimes you got to spin it there 1 or 2 times to get everything lined up. Yep, that's looking good there. Yep. So you put your prop on here. Now, pilots, if you're new at this, you might not know that some manufacturers, now some of them, now I'm saying about 90% of them, if you'll look straight down onto the plane, you'll see that your propeller is in an angle, not only in an angle this way, but an angle downward too. Now that is there on purpose. Don't try to fix that. That is due to the torque of the motor while it's spinning one way, and as soon as the plane leaves the ground, it's going to turn the plane that way, and hard too. So they've come up with that little bit of an angle up to the left or to the right and a little down to try to compensate for that. But you got a brass insert inside this little hub. Now there's no hole. Sometimes you'll see a hole somewhere in there to stick a screwdriver in, but this one don't have that. Put that on there. Oh my goodness. She's getting tight before it even gets up there. Yep, let me see here. Let me look how deep that is. How deep it is. Well, it goes in there pretty good. Oh goodness, there she is. Good Lord, it ain't got voice, but it's got other things that'll get on in there. But you know, if you leave your controller on and not know it, it will let you know. So you can cut it off, not burn your batteries out. I might put me a washer on that because it's not won't go on there. That's good. Or it could be just this is the first time on there. That's the tough part about putting these props on. You've got to hold the propeller, keep the motor shaft from moving. Yeah, that's going on there. My mount here slipped out. Something's went wrong with that. Let me get it back off again. It's separated there in my prop. There we go. Now then. Okay. Let's see if I got something to hold on to. I'll take that off. Nope, I'll never do it that way either. Just gotta live with it. I get everything, and the prop's gonna kill me. I'm gonna leave this on here too, but I'm gonna take my wing back off. Oh yeah. I'm gonna take that wing back off, put the LEDs in. And there you go. That's the 11 Hobbies T-28 Trojan. I've got to get my rods hooked up on the elevator. I know the servos are centered and that's going the right way. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm out.